Political parties are vying for 107 seats in 95 municipal wards countrywide. Our reporters across the country are covering this one-of-a-kind by-election. Govan Whittles is in Lenasia in the south of Johannesburg and joins me now for an update. Govan, needless to say, in Johannesburg, every ward counts because this was one of those municipalities that were described as hung municipalities, in that there was no one who really obtained an outright majority, and we've had almost 4 years now, almost 5 years of living with the consequences of that. I imagine that where you are, it's a hotly contested ward seat that is available.
It is a hotly contested ward, Lenasia, and the turnout has been a little bit slow, but as you said, it definitely counts. That's because the ANC coalition is currently governing with a majority of just one seat in the Johannesburg Council. And so what happens in Lenasia, what happens in Rivoli, what happens in Soweto is crucially important for the city of Johannesburg. And with me, I have the candidates of the two big parties, the ANC and the DA, and the one upstart small party that's hoping to cause an upset here in Lenasia. And let's start by speaking to these candidates. We'll begin with Mr. Abdul Nurbay. Mr. Nurbay, you're the interim ward councillor. The DA is defending this ward in Lenasia. Do you think you've done enough work to win it, and why do you think the DA will win it?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to the viewership out there. You must take into note the DA is the official opposition at the national level. We've had served this ward previously, our former councillor, and then we've had our current councillor that just recently suddenly resigned. I stepped in as the interim caretaker councillor in Ward 9, Lenasia, and I found this ward to have many challenges. Besides your basic service delivery challenges, you have challenges from the municipal-owned entities, the unresponsiveness from the respective officials from the municipal entities puts this ward in a very bad spotlight. Region G has been totally neglected, and in particular Lenasia as such, and in particular Ward 9 as such as well. If you drive around this ward, you will see the crime, the grime that's taking place here on a daily basis. So yes, if we look at our municipality, has totally failed in providing service delivery. I have achieved within my 2.5-month interim period as a caretaker councillor, I think much more than what the previous councillors have achieved in this ward. And there are many achievements. I have endorsements from members of the community, from residents, from voters, from institutions, from organizations. 2 weeks ago, we had our newly elected party leader John Steenhuisen with our federal council leader Helen Zill. We came out to Lenasia, we had meetings with various organizations, institutions, telling them and noting from them and asking them what are the issues currently and how we can address these issues, not only at the municipal level, but even at the national level and the provincial level.
And of course the leader of the DA had spoken about how important it is for those networks to exist in these communities. But let's move it on to Mr. Chris Masango. He's from the ANC. Mr. Masango, look, Lenasia is important for the ANC because you're hoping to strengthen your slight majority in the coalition in the council. But do you believe you've done enough work in this community to secure a victory and get elected as ward councillor?
Thank you very much. As the presenter said, my name is Chris Masango. Sorry for my voice. The campaign has been hectic. Look, I'm a resident in Lenasia for more than 28 years. I know Lenasia. Lenasia has been under opposition. As the African National Congress, we have been in opposition in this community, Ward 9 in particular, Greater Lenasia. Now, our stance as the African National Congress, Lenasia, Johannesburg region and the Gauteng province is simple. We stand for non-racialism, non-sexist, democratic, prosperity, Lenasia. Therefore, I'm lobbying the community of Lenasia to vote the African National Congress. Lenasia has been dilapidating, going down to drain in the past 10 years. As a ruling party in government, we are then watching, we are saying, we think the time is now to vote the African National Congress, to vote Chris Masango. We are going to change the lives of the people, particularly in 4 critical areas. What are those? Your street lights, the cleaning of Lenasia, potholes, and cutting of grass. Lenasia it's a highly religious community. I am going to service all the people in this community, and I'm not going to classify people by race, color, ethnicity, religion, nor the nationality. I'm going to serve all this community equally, but I'm going to champion and lead when it comes to service delivery.
Thank you, Mr. Masango. That's the ANC and the DA to Lesizwe. You understand the DA had been a ward councillor and the ANC's coalition is governing in the city of Johannesburg. But now we'll speak to the candidate for Al Jamaa. It's Mr. Imran Musa. He's the one that hasn't been in any of the structures and is attempting to upset the traditional parties here. Mr. Musa, you have talked big as Al Jamaa here in Lenasia. Will you be able to deliver with a victory as ward councillor?
Yes, God willing that we will achieve this victory. The community needs to speak up. Obviously, we've noticed that the previous 10 years in Lenasia has proven itself in terms of service delivery, in terms of many of the other challenges that Lenasia is having. And we know that it is now time for some moral compass as well as some spiritual fiber in order to have guidance for this community, because we know that the corruption is very high and the challenges of Lenasia is just as high. So we need somebody that takes a mandate from the community, speaks on behalf of the community, and takes these challenges to such an extent that it comforts the community of Lenasia to such an extent that they feel satisfied and comforted in that we work together. And Al Jamaa is a community-based party. Obviously, we are a political party, and we are for all communities. And one of the important aspects of Al Jamaa is that it means community. Many people are under the wrong impression that we are a religious group. However, I must make it very clear that we also would like to encompass the spiritual fiber and the moral compass that lacks within the previous governing bodies. And if we carry on in this light, surely we'll be a great example to the community here in Lenasia, and hopefully that in the near future, if we become the ward councillor here, we will make a huge difference, and we will change Lenasia to such an extent that we will find that many of the problems that we have in Lenasia, we will be working together as a community, and the community needs to speak. It is their right, and justice shall prevail.
Okay, thank you so much. That's Mr. Imran Musa. Well, you heard it there. It's Al Jamaa, the ANC, as well as the DA. I'm outside the Centre for the Elderly, where they receive care, and they expect the numbers of people that are coming to vote to pick up after 5. That's because most people are still at work till Lesizwe. But
yeah,
there is a vibrant atmosphere in Lenasia at the moment.
It is, isn't it? Isn't it, the Govan Whittles? It's a beautiful atmosphere where you are, a festival of ideas and proposals to the voters, of course, and the voters will make their decisions, who is going to be hired and who is going to be fired.